Good evening, folks. It's Jay from JayTalk. And of course, we have all smiles, Mr. Nick from the Nick Drop.
Amen, people. Amen.
So,
Praise the Lord.
yeah, gotta throw a smile out there even when things are tough, right?
And I'm gonna tell you, these people don't even want to know what I went through today. I kind of gave Jay a little heads up earlier, but man, I am just wound up. These poor people in this world got an ass ripping for me.
Yeah, there you go. So, and we're gonna go controversial today. And so, and I'm going to be using Nick and his wound up self. It's going to really make it interesting.
So hang in there. There's probably going to be a few F-bombs and, some cursing. So
yeah,
hold on to your seat.
This will be the, we'll flag it as explicit. Kiddos don't listen. What? I flag all our episodes as not a kid appropriate. So, it's not like it changes, right?
I don't even think I know any kids that are under 18 that have listened to us. I don't think I know any parents that would listen to us in a room with the speakers going with the kids around.
In the car?
Oh, maybe in the car, yeah.
Yeah, I do know someone who was listening to us in the car with the kid around and had to turn us off. So it does happen.
And I like it that way because this is, an adult platform. So
for the most part,
we don't get too bad.
No. We're actually really comparatively, we're very conservative. We really are.
Yes. Because we talked about it, but I'm going to say it here on the air that statistics have proven that if somebody cold calls you on your cell phone, and they immediately start off with, "Hey, how the fuck are you?" There's an 8% better chance of making the sale. It is a statistical proven fact.
Oh, sorry.
Are you kidding me? If they throw out the F-bomb, it is so common knowledge. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if people were talking like that in church. "Hey, man, it's so-and-so. How the fuck are you?" I'm serious.
I know, but no.
Maybe not your church. Maybe
I know.
But I'll be willing to bet you
there may be a church. Okay, yeah, I know.
There might even be a pastor in a church somewhere going, "This is fucking bullshit."
Yeah, well, there's church from everyone, so yeah,
that's a good thing. There's, as long as they're, following the ways of the Lord and doing the good deeds, it doesn't matter what you talk,
Yeah.
That cursing ain't in the 10 Commandments, is it? I don't think so. Coveting thy neighbor's wife. Yeah.
Anyway,
you can name in the book and cuss all you don't covet my neighbor's wife.
Whatever.
Kill nobody.
Yeah. I know.
All them.
So no, it's today's. So I really haven't given Nick any heads up, folks. This is going to be, but I know he's going to have something to say about this topic because we've talked about it before. I gave him a little bit of a hint before this show started, but essentially I thought it was really interesting. Yeah, I go through phases where I will watch TikTok and then I'll go 2 or 3 weeks where I won't watch TikTok at all. Okay.
Right. Same thing.
And so sometimes I'll check Facebook and, there are things like that. But I really find it interesting the amount of video that come across my feed or on Facebook about women tearing down men and the toxic attitude towards men and masculinity. Okay? And so
see, that's the niche you and I are in.
Yeah.
Right? Because we follow the women that are bashing women for bashing men.
Yeah, they're trying to be a voice for positive. It was interesting. I heard one of them say, happy wife, happy life is actually a toxic environment.
Yes.
It's happy spouse, happy house.
Yes.
And so I was like, that's a great example because spouse, is gender neutral.
Right.
You know, let's just be honest. Both people have to be happy, or it's not a happy house and it ain't gonna work.
Right.
And so
Ab-
I was like, but people don't talk like that. I saw a video. Of course, I follow like the manicured woman. I forgot but it's like Mom for Men is her new title because she literally got woke. Everybody complained against her, and so they canceled her account. She had to create a new account. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they hated her content. So they're silencing the people who are trying to talk about this toxic environment, even on TikTok.
Why?
Yeah.
It doesn't give a damn. Why does TikTok? You know what I'm saying?
I know. Well, I mean, here's a funny thing.
Shocking and all.
I know.
That's what it's about.
Right. But see, it was funny. She said there's a whole tag, men are useless. And there's 43 million tags on videos for men are useless.
Right.
There is 0 for women are useless. And she created a video and tagged it as women are useless, and it got removed.
I did see that this morning.
Yes.
I was in TikTok because I got up at 4:00 this morning. I'm like, I got a couple hours to kill. I'll just do some TikTok and pass the time real quick. I did see that this morning.
That is insane, though.
It's the way the world is.
No.
And I'm all for the women's movement. Don't get me wrong. I want women to be equal paid and all that in the workplace. I want them to have a say in a relationship, not just shut up and do what I tell you to do. I've never been that kind of a guy. I want my significant other to
equality
communicate with me.
Yeah,
equality. Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
And I'm gonna do man things because I'm an idiot. And when it comes to those things, I'm a man. I don't think emotionally. I think, what is it? We think logically, and women think emotionally. It's not logically. It's something else.
Right.
Anyway, we think differently. So us as men need to learn how to think emotionally, and women need to learn how to think whatever it is, analytically or
Exactly.
logical. I think it's logically, yeah.
Yeah, but there are plenty of women that are very logical, though. So there are plenty of
absolutely.
them. Yeah. So don't let us get. Yeah. No. Go ahead.
No, there are a lot of men that know how to understand the emotional side.
Yes.
I just read a book called How to Be a 3% Man. Basically, that book is listen to what she's saying. Don't hear her. Listen to her.
Right.
Look at her body language. You can tell everything by a woman, and she doesn't even have to talk to you, whether she likes you or not, whether she's upset or not. All those things,
Now, I did find this interesting because you were talking about the book, and then we went to this training on the DBT, and you said there was a lot of similarities. You remember that?
Very much so. Because it's all behavioral.
Yeah.
All of it is behavioral.
Right.
It doesn't have, in all actuality, it really doesn't have anything to do with gender if you really want to get down to the core.
Right.
So DBT is not gender specific.
No, not at all.
So what this guy did, that I read the book, his was all about dating and how to date and how to respect women and how to treat them, but still contain your masculinity.
Right.
You're going to date. You want to. This guy doesn't want to get married, settle down, and have kids. He wants to date. So he might have 25 or 30 women that he's talking to at any given point, and he's going out on different dates whenever he.
Right.
And his method is phenomenally works.
Right.
I can't do it. I can't do. It's very hard. I've tried. It's very hard to do that.
Well, it's not your nature.
Yes, it is not my nature, and it's very hard to change that because if I meet somebody and go out on a date with them and we have a great date,
yes,
I'm not going to wait 4 or 5 or 6 days before I text them or call them. And even then, you wait 4 or 5 days and you pick up the phone and call them out of the blue, and you don't spend more than 5 minutes on the phone with him and say, "Hey, I really had a good time on our date. I would like to do it again this Friday night, 7 o'clock. Why don't you meet me at such and such?" And if she said, "That sounds great," get off the phone. No, let's talk about our emotions and our feelings. How do you like me? What do you like? Red flags, green flag, blah, blah, blah. None of it. Then when you go on the date, the woman should do 80% of the talking.
Ye-
And you should just ask questions. And I'm like, soon as there's an inkling of silence, I'm like, so yeah, I used to do this. And I just go nuts and just vomit my whole thing out. Probably no wonder why women are running from me.
Yeah, but see, here's the whole thing. I think this is a valid point. This guy just dates to date.
Yes.
You're not looking for that. You're looking for something real. That is the difference. So you're trying to make an emotional, a physical, a mental, an intellectual connection.
Yes.
It's all four. You're trying to develop that connection. And the only way you can do that is time.
Yep.
In a 5-minute conversation, you can't do that.
No, that's where he keeps his arm's length distance away from the emotional standpoint of that relationship.
Yes.
And it's all physical. For me, I can't. I have never been a guy that walks into a bar, picks up a chick, takes her home, and bangs her. It's just not. I, I'm. I can't say I've never done it, but I can say it's less than one hand for
Right.
sure.
Right. But
More likely, I won.
Right. But
A
see,
fluke.
at this time in your life, it's not something you're looking for.
I never was looking for it in my 20s, even though I was, Mr. Horny.
I
When
know.
we were,
I know.
never did it back then either.
You weren't looking for it. But if it happened, you weren't going to complain in your 20s. See, that's it.
And I wouldn't complain about it now.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
But the performance of the emotional in your head at this age
Yeah.
would affect the outcome.
Well, but if somebody picked you up in a bar right now, you're looking for that connection, and so it would take more for you to just like go home
Because
immediately.
there's no emotional. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like a woman. When it comes to the bedroom, I have to have an emotional connection with whoever I'm with,
Right.
And I'm leaving that gender neutral because, if I'm with whoever I'm with, I have to have an emotional connection first.
Right.
I have to really enjoy their company and like them. It doesn't have to be madly in love. We're getting married, so let's have sex. No, it's not. But I just can't. Oh yeah, she's cute. Let's go hit the car.
No.
No.
Yeah.
You'll never see me doing that. Now, I used to hang out with people that did it 3 and 4 and 5 times a night.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Guys in their 50s taking their, little extra pills so that,
They could last all night. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
No.
and I'm up cleaning the house the next day and they're recovering from all the abuse that too much alcohol, too much physical workout,
Exactly. It's like,
"Oh, we're going to work on the truck today." Oh man, truck can wait.
yeah, exactly. Oh my god. But see, part of this is not just, it's the toxic attitude, I guess, more than anything. You've got all of these women who are just, men are nothing. We don't need them. It's the feminism extreme. And that's why I was
Yes.
saying, some of our fans are going to completely agree with us. And I know because, a lot of my friends and family, they'll completely agree with it. But there'll be some people out there I'm going to piss off. And it's the extreme feminism. Look, I understand feminism. Feminism is a woman should be treated with respect as an equal. And, that's great. But in a relationship, it goes both ways. Woman is
Yes.
treated with respect. Man is treated with respect. Man is not looked at as only just the money bank, the provider. That's not his only job. And if that's
Not in
what
this day and age. No.
no, and if that's what you're looking for, you're looking in the wrong place. Because a lot of men, they don't even want to hook up with a woman if that's all she wants is his money. I'll be honest with
Yep.
you. I'll tell you the truth. It's really funny. I was making a joke, and this is just kind of a good example. Dang it. Anyway, if I won the lotto, okay, I'd buy a nice place. I'd have a nice vehicle. Come on, who wouldn't, right?
Right. Right.
And so my son asked me, he said, "Would you get rid of your Jeep Cherokee?" And I'm like, "No." And he said, "Well, why not?" And I said, "Well, I got to use it on my first dates."
Good point.
Because you know what? If she goes and runs for the hills just because I'm driving a Jeep Cherokee, I
Good
immediately
thing.
know. Is she in for
But
me or is she in for my money?
the word's going to get out that you got money, and they're going to come flocking.
Uh, okay.
You know.
I'll find something new.
Yeah.
But you
So you
know,
buy a nice house and live in it, and then you buy an old house, and you take pictures and all that stuff for your platform or your profile.
oh no no.
That's us with the Jeep and all that.
No, I could get my kid an apartment and take all the
And
pictures in the apartment.
there you go. And then take the first date to McDonald's or Jack in the Box or something. Yeah.
Exactly. So I
Eh,
thought you had money. I did. I kind of lost it all in the stock market. Oh, oh,
No,
okay.
I lost it hanging out at the bars and hookers. I don't know what I was thinking.
But you know, yeah. So I mean, we make jokes like this, but you know, the sad thing is I've had the discussion
Yeah,
because you're just so it's crazy, you know, and uh, I don't know why it's become so popular to tear men down. There are so many good men out there that really have had enough, and they're walking away. You know,
it's the old adage, one bad apple. You know,
right?
you get your fuck boys out there, and they're the ones that destroy the nice guys. And the thing about it is us nice guys don't understand how to manipulate a woman like the fuck boys do. I hate
Well,
that phrase. You know
I
what I
would
mean?
disagree with that. There are a
No,
lot of
because
it.
if
No,
you
no, no, no,
did,
no. Let me.
so what's the change? What's the change? Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. We know how, but we have a heart and we won't do it.
Okay, granted, I give you that. We
Okay.
won't do it. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But they can also see into that. Oh, he's got it going on, but he's not a bad boy.
Right.
So that kills it, you know. And these people out there that only sleep with married people, those people just need a paper cut. I just
I know. I know. But you
oh
know,
my god, why would you want to do that?
I know. But see the toxic environment. You know, it's just like, okay, you're setting yourself up for this. If you're
Right.
going after the bad boy, aren't you the one that's setting yourself up for failure? And then you're pissed off at the
Yeah.
good guy that comes along and tries to treat you nice, and you're like, something's wrong with him. Wait, no, there's nothing wrong with him. Everything's wrong with you because you've got this emotional broken attachment to the guys who treat you badly.
It is uncanny. While I was flipping through TikTok this morning, this lady probably in her early, and I'm guessing she looks younger than she is. So I'm just guessing she's in her early to mid 40s.
Right.
And I always, when I see somebody and they're like new, I'll swipe left real quick to see how many followers they have and how many they're following, that kind of stuff, and how many videos they have. And she didn't have but maybe 1,000. So she was new to the game.
Right.
So I swipe back and listen to her, and she goes, I just can't do this online dating thing. Everybody out there, they're either psychos or perverts or blah, 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 blah. And I lit her ass up.
Okay.
I said, first off, young lady, I guarantee you, if he doesn't come off the cover of GQ magazine, you're not going to have anything to do with him. But yes, there are perverts and freaks out there, and you just, as good as you look, you just have to weed through them. But you're not looking for a nice guy because you just got out of a narcissistic relationship. You're just like the rest of us. Our pickers are broke. And I sent her that this morning. I hadn't
Okay.
checked Facebook, but I've got some notifications on Facebook. I'm sure she's going to respond or just ghost me, one of the two.
One or the other. Yeah, exactly. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
really ready to change my profile on that too, and flat out just say, sorry, I'm not 6 foot tall, but I got everything else going on that you're gonna want, but you'll still swipe left. See ya. I want to be that snarky about it
I know. I
because
know.
at this point, it's not do to have a good profile is doing me absolutely no good.
Right.
None.
Right.
So
Right.
I really should. I want what your profile says. I want to take all your wording and put it on my profile. See what happens.
Whatever. Whatever.
No, I'm serious. What a good experiment.
I know. I know. That's a fair point. Okay.
We need to do it.
Yeah. Maybe we will. Maybe I'll send it to you tonight. I'll copy it off of Facebook. Send it to you.
There we go.
Yeah, you can send me yours too, and I'll edit to at least like reflect my height and stuff. So
I'm not thinking about my height and mine. I'm just letting
Okay, good.
yeah, no, no.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. See, I even get shit for it on the podcast.
I
So
know.
how bad am I going to do on a dating site? No, it's funny because that's one of the things in this world you can't do anything about.
I know.
I can't, I probably can't break my shins and make myself a couple inches taller, but
Why would you do
and
that?
people have done that. No, people have done it, but
Okay.
it makes you look out of proportion and funky. I don't think that's a solution. You can have all the plastic surgery you want. If your junk ain't big enough or it's too big, you can have it
I know.
cut down, add it. Anything can be modified except your height.
Right.
I can even go and get all new hair.
I know.
So,
I know. And you know what?
got enough money right now to get it done.
Here's the whole thing, folks. Nick knows I don't care anything about his height,
Oh.
but
See, it's great because it
it's
just winds me up.
but it's a good thing between the two of us because I know my boundary, and I know you're not going to be upset at me if I make a comment because we've made jokes about it all the time.
Yeah.
You tease me about stuff, and I tease you, and so yeah, it's really great stuff. But
Yeah, we're really good about it, and I love it because when he comes at me like that, I love to respond all wound up about it. But I have my entire life been short, and that's the way it is, and I accepted it years and years ago.
right,
Even when girls would flat out look at me and go, "Nick, I would never go out with you. You're too short." Okay,
you're
you're
lost.
lost.
Exactly.
Yeah. One of them actually said that, and then years later, we kind of went out a couple times, and she said, "Wow, I'm really mad at myself for not going out with you years ago." And I went, "Oh, really? Cool. Well, what are we doing tomorrow night?" So, okay, hey, I'll call you and we'll go hang out. I never
No.
called her.
Yeah.
I'm like, paybacks are a bitch. There you go.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that part of it when you're going to be snarky about it.
I know.
And she wasn't nice. She wasn't polite.
Oh.
I've had no, she wasn't. She was just like, "Nick, I won't go out with you. You're too short." Like
Oh.
now. I work with a girl that you and I have talked about, and I'm not going to mention her name, and she's 5'10", and I'm 5'5".
Right.
And everybody around us, she was going through a divorce. We both got our divorce around the same time, and it was about a year later. She was struggling in the dating field, so was I. And everybody kept talking to both of us, going, "You need to ask Courtney out. Courtney, you need to go out with Nick." So I walked into her office after a couple of weeks of them harassing us, and she looked at me and she goes, "Nick, I love you with all my heart." And I said, "I absolutely love you with all my heart because we've known each other for 10 more years." And she said, "The reason that it would never work between us because I would feel like an Amazon and I would never feel comfortable in my skin." And I went, "Makes sense to me." And then I jokingly said, "But we're the same height when we're laying down." She just cracked up, and we just went on about our business.
Right.
But yeah, this lady was snarky about it.
Yeah. See, now that's a polite way. She's not being toxic. The other lady was very toxic about it.
She was straight up toxic.
Yes. What's the point?
Her husband right now, 6'8".
Okay.
Yeah, they were high school sweethearts. They went off to college and did their own thing for about 5 or 6 years and got back together. And
Okay.
he's a good buddy of mine. We're all on Facebook, but he's 6'8".
That's funny. Okay.
Guess she likes tall men. Well, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there are a lot of women that are like that. Yeah, it's
And
normal.
I get it too. If a
Yes.
woman's 5'10", 5'11", if you're tall like that, you to not dominate in a bad way, but when you hug a woman and you're bigger than her and more powerful, it makes them feel safe.
Yeah.
And I would never be allowed to do that with a woman that's 5'10".
Without a
No
step
matter how
stool.
much she weighed, she could be a rail,
I know.
but still, you know, she's leaning down to hug me.
I know.
I dated Mary. Mary was 5'8", and she wore heels all the time, so her boobs were right in my face. Best thing ever. But and it for some reason for her it was never a problem
See, now
that I
that's
was.
good. See,
Yeah,
that's good. There are great women out there that have no problem with,
right.
shorter men or whatever. It's sort of like, there are women out there that are skinny that like men that are a little more chubby. There are men out
Right.
there that are skinny that like women that are a little more chubby. There is someone for everyone out there. So don't ever be toxic about your own body structure. There will be somebody out there that loves you just the way that you are.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. Here's the problem.
Okay.
There's so many people out there, nobody can ever get through the weeds
Yes.
to get to the water.
Well, and part of that is the women who may normally like you that are out there may have a toxic friend who's talking them away from you. And that
Yeah,
is part of the other reason why I wanted to bring this up is this whole kind of general, I mean, no offense. It's this whole kind of, it's, I don't even want to call it this feminist movement because it's a toxic kind of, tear down movement. It's, they're toxic trying to tear down men. I mean, the
right.
male species. So, really? Why? What did I ever do to you?
Yeah.
You know, I
I got
mean,
a whole different part of that in the fact that, like, even okay, this happened a short time ago.
right,
Um, a lady liked me on Facebook. You know, I swiped right on her because I thought she was cute and I liked her profile, and she swiped right on me. So that came back and said she liked me.
right.
And in her profile, it did say, I'm not a texter. If you can't talk to me on the phone or meet me somewhere so that we can get to know each other properly, swipe left. So I responded to that with, I'm terrible at the texting thing. I would much rather talk or meet you in person somewhere neutral so that we can talk and see if we're compatible. And she like responded within 30 minutes. Let's meet this week.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to go out on, I said, she said, let's meet this week. I said, Thursday sounds like a great evening for a meet. Ghosted.
I know.
Ghosted.
Really.
Then I saw a TikTok that a guy says, when you see a woman on any dating platform, the first thing you should say to her is, there are 3 reasons why I swiped right, or whatever the, you know,
Yeah, yeah, you shared that with
let's
me.
just, yeah, yeah. There are 3 reasons why I swipe right. You said this, look that, and you're very attractive, whatever.
Right.
Your turn.
Yes.
So I waited 3 days from that. Whenever her and I did that was like, I don't know, Sunday or Monday
Right.
that day, that week.
And it was supposed to be this Thursday it's supposed to be the date, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a while back, but um so on the Wednesday before the date, I sent that to her. Ghosted. Ain't said a word.
Uh,
Didn't say a word, nothing.
her loss.
Yeah.
Dude, and that's what I don't get. Okay, so this is really interesting. So, and I want the manicured mom, okay? She's single, by the way. She's got a divorce. And yet she's still pro men. Okay? And the reason, and she actually explained it, and this is for all you toxic women out there. You're being very toxic. You're teaching all these women to treat their men badly, and every time they do something horrible, every time they do something to their man, you're cheering them on. What happens when it happens to your son?
Yep.
What, are you going to be mad? Or are you going to feel guilty? And
They're
here's
gonna
the
be mad.
they're going to be mad. They're not going to
Yeah,
they're not
they're
going to
gonna
take
feel guilty.
accountability. Nobody
No,
takes
no.
accountability.
I'm gonna take care of myself, and if everybody's on fire, I'm not gonna spit on one of them. I'm gonna take care of me. I don't care about anybody else's feelings. I don't care what anybody's doing or saying, as long as I get what I want, when I get what I want, how I get what I want. And if I don't, I'm gonna burn the world down.
Right.
That's the norm.
I know. I
But I
know.
mean, I can even go into more detail of that. Is this online dating thing? Women aren't giving. They look at this guy and they're like, they're okay, they're cute, they're not like holy shit,
Yeah.
you know. They're only going for the holy shit,
Right.
and we're not all holy,
Right.
I don't I don't go for the holy shit. I do. Now, if I see a woman and she immediately attracts me and I like her profile, then yes, I'm going to make an effort. But if I look at her and I go, you know, she's I could bring her in front of my mother.
Right.
So
Right.
she doesn't have to be all holy. But here's the problem. Nowadays, back in the day, the man was the ruler. The woman did what she was told. She cooked, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's back so old, it's not even funny.
Right.
Nowadays, it's nobody wants to work hard at a single fucking thing.
I know.
A relationship is just as hard as maintaining a job, just as hard as being a parent. You have to sit down, you have to learn your partner, you have to understand how they think.
Yes.
You know how hard that is for men to understand how women think?
I know.
Women come up and they're just in a bad mood. They don't want you to fix shit. They don't want you to logically figure it out. They just want you to listen.
You know what? I'm going to say this just real quick. Something, I don't know why this popped into my head. You're right. Women want you to listen. And you know what? Men should go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I can listen to you now.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Okay, what can you see? 5 things you can see. Be in the moment.
Yes.
And that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 we talked about with DBT would be great for everyone, not just people with mental health problems, because that brings you to the moment and you can actually listen to her and hear her.
Yep.
Sorry. Anyway, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
You don't have to solve. Yeah, you don't have to solve nothing or do. You just have to be present, just like
Yes.
you said. Have to be present. Don't roll your eyes. Don't. If she's asking you a question, give her an honest answer. Well, babe, I think what you're saying is right. Or, babe, I don't know. I'm a little on the fence with this. If you want to get into a discussion with, I'd be more than happy to. But right now, I just want you to tell me what's going on, and I'm here. I'm here for you, baby. That's all you need to do. And if they go, oh no, I need you to engage. I need you to tell me what your thought process is. Then you can get into a good debate about it.
Right. Right.
As long as you're not pointing fingers and go, no, babe, you screwed up. You
Right.
start doing that, then you start slinging mud. Remember that time 25 years ago? But
Yeah. No.
that's when it goes south.
Yeah.
But you got to work at it.
Yeah.
I went on a date, and the whole time that's what we talked about was how do we figure each other out enough to where we understand our process?
Yes.
And she said that to me, and my immediate response was, first and foremost, in any relationship that I am, I need to establish trust. After that, I can work with anything.
No, and that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm starting to learn with listening to these books and doing all this stuff that I'm the common denominator in why all these women are cheating. It's because I'm not maintaining my masculine.
Okay.
And it's something as simple as, what do you want to eat? We've talked about this a million times. I don't care. What do you want? I don't care. A lot of times women just want you to go, will you just shut up, and I don't care where, just go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know that's kind of a cheesy scenario, but it's commonplace
Yes.
with every little thing that's going on.
Right. Right.
taking the garbage out. You're supposed to take the garbage out, and you don't do it. Yes, you're going to get an ass chewing. You know, she went to the grocery store and didn't get your favorite cookies. She's going to get an ass. I mean, it's both of,
Yeah.
you don't work it. So,
Happy spouse, happy house.
yes,
100%. So,
yes,
and it's funny you talk about that. It's the whole crazy thing, the back and forth. It's not necessary. It,
no,
it, it
it
really
isn't.
isn't. Guys, they're just as guilty of the kind of toxic treating women badly kind of situation. And the funny thing is some of these guys, they'll be at home and they'll treat their wives like they're the queens, but when they're at work, they don't treat the women at work the same as they do the men.
Right,
And so it's like, okay, well, how would you want your daughter, how would you want your wife to be treated? Because what you're treating other people is somebody else's wife, somebody else's daughter. And do you
right.
think they appreciate that?
Yeah,
And that's a key point. So it's not just women. I'm getting a little tired of this women tearing down men kind of movement. I really am. But I
right,
do appreciate that there are really good women out there who are standing up for men because they have encountered good men. They
right.
are raising good men, and they don't want those men to be affected by the crazy women. Let's just be honest.
Yes,
And so there, not all women are like that. I know there are plenty of good women in my life. My mother, my sisters, there are plenty of great women in my life. We've got great friends, Elise, Abigail from refreshingly50.com. I'm sure Abigail has plenty of friends who are just great women. Okay.
right,
They're not toxic. They're not trying to tear people down. They're trying to build people up.
right.
But the problem is those women are being attacked by other women
And bad boys.
and bad boys too. You're exactly right. And so
Yep,
it's like, dude, you're getting it from both sides. So the good guys are getting it from both sides and the good women are getting it. So it's like all the bad people are just trying to tear down all the good people. Let's just be
right.
honest. It's
And
just
it is. And we're in, go ahead.
it's just a toxic environment. And I'm so tired of it. I'm beyond over the top, exhausted, tired of the crap. And so I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep saying it. I tell it to my kids. It's you don't deserve someone treating you like this. So don't ever put up with it. I'm not going to, and I hope I set the example. You should never as well.
Right. And I've got a caveat to all that. Um, Kind of backing up a little bit. Uh, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh
I
no, it was
I
good because
got I was on a passionate kind
I
of
know, and I loved it, and that passion was spilling over, and I had a thing about it, and
talking about
oh,
good
this
women.
is what it
Okay,
is.
okay,
So these women that I always joke about, my pickers broke. These women that I picked, I did start seeing a lady, and she was very standoffish in the trust department because of her past.
right,
Picking the bad boys, getting cheated on, emotional abuse, maybe even possibly physical abuse. We never got into those kind of conversations.
right.
But what that does for our relationship, she's already got a wall up because she doesn't trust.
Yes,
So with that wall up, she's not who she should be. She's not acting like she should be. So she's not giving the green flags or anything
right.
into the relationship, but the bare minimum, because now all of a sudden she met a nice guy and it freaks her out. She doesn't know how to act.
Oh, and so I've heard that too. That's a very good
Yes.
point. Yes, there are
You
plenty of
know,
women.
when you talk to him and text him all in the beginning before the dates and all said, I'm the kind of person, I'm affectionate. My love language is physical touch and words of affirmation and blah blah. And then when you start going out, where's the nice compliments, the words of affirmation? Where's the physical touch?
Right.
What happened?
Right.
And this woman, we started talking, and she realized I like him, but he's not a bad boy, and it scared the shit out of her. And it scares the shit out of them.
Right.
And they don't know what to do. And then they're going, what is wrong with me? So they're stuck between a rock and a hard place because they haven't gotten up here done so that they can step out in the world.
Right. They still have emotional baggage that is dictating what they see instead of what's really there.
Yes.
I think that's the best way to put it, right?
Yeah. And that person will never take the relationship. It'll take them forever to get to the next level.
Yes.
Whatever that is, to finally say, okay, let's be exclusive, or let's hit the bedroom, or whatever.
Well, to that point, she could be like, "Oh crap, I don't know how to handle this."
Right.
And then the very next guy she meets could be another idiot, another toxic guy, another fuck boy, as you said it. And you know what? She's just perpetuating the old situation all over again.
But that guy is when she opens up and chases him.
Yes. When she shouldn't.
Nice guys, yeah, they don't,
Yeah.
if I didn't text or call her, she would never, very rarely would she text and call me, that kind of thing.
You know what? It's a two-way chase. It's a two-way chase. Yeah.
But it can't be. You're either getting along and sharing in the responsibility of the first text or first phone call, or one of them's doing it all. Whoever's doing it all is chasing, and the other one is kicking back, letting them chase you.
Yeah, but you should be both chasing for affection.
You're absolutely right. And when a woman starts doing that to me, I'm done. I ain't chasing nobody. Do you realize how many women there are in the world? How many men? If I'm not your cup of tea, just say so.
Right. If they're not going to be mutually chasing you, yeah, I agree with you.
Sorry, I'm just not feeling it. Not a problem. I really had a great time. I hope you get, we're still friends on Facebook unless you want to, unfollow me. I hope you do well. If you ever want to ask me any questions, listen to our whatever.
Right.
I wouldn't be rude like that. But ghost me, now I want to come back and go, really, bitch? I mean, I wouldn't dare do that, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Why did you reach out to me and then ghost me?
Right.
Why would you do that?
We're all adults here. I mean, at this stage you should be able to emotionally be capable of telling someone, look, I'm not interested anymore. Okay.
Not working
you know
not
what?
working.
You're right.
Done.
Yeah.
Sorry. I made a mistake. It was an accident. I swiped right. I apologize. That right there is closure.
Yes.
Ghosting just pisses me off because it's just there.
Yeah.
So you sit there for days on end going, well, is she eventually going to respond? Did she get COVID and she can't, and then you start doing all that.
Right.
What happened if she had a family member die, or mother, or something tragic happened in their lives?
She was in an accident. Yeah, I mean, in Houston, that can happen.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here going, really? You're going to go, you're going to ghost me?
And here's the whole thing. This is one of the things I hate about that. You talk about ghosting. That's emotional stress. You are putting emotional stress on somebody else because you're too, excuse my language, fucking lazy to do what's right.
Yes. That's the whole world. That's why we're in the situation that we're in. Nobody wants to do the right thing anymore. Nobody.
I know.
Especially when it comes to this dating shit.
I know.
It's that simple.
Easy way out, like you said.
Oh, wait a minute. He didn't say the exact right words I wanted to hear on the first text. Fuck him. Really?
I know.
How do you know that? How can you just give up so quickly?
How do you know he didn't have a bad day and he's just at least making an effort?
Or if either one.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, but within 48 hours, you should say respond to something. Say, look, going through some difficulty in my family. I'll get back with you or whatever. I'm
Right.
not interested. And they can even say, I'm not interested, and then you're done. And then 4 months later, they come across your profile again and go, you know what? Maybe we're getting hit. So let's see what happened.
Right.
Don't reach out to me if you're not going to at least make some kind of an effort.
I know, man.
Oh my, and I'm going to say it as rude as, oh my fucking God. I have never got on a profile or sent a message to a woman without asking some kind of a question to get you to respond.
Right.
Even if it's as lame as, hey, wow, I really enjoyed your profile. I hope you had a great day.
Yeah.
Her response is, I did. Or, how was your day? Fine. Fuck. Are you kidding me?
I know. See, and
I had a wonderful day. I had a terrible day. I'm just not feeling it. Please.
I actually read a profile. It was really hilarious. You're talking about this, where this girl actually put, if you ask me how I'm doing, that's it. I won't talk to you again.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they get sick of that. Good morning. I hope you have a great day. Hope you have a good night. Good night.
Wait,
People get sick of that.
why?
They do. I don't know.
I mean, here's the whole thing. Somebody's showing an expression, a genuine interest to start a conversation for the day. And yes,
Come
it
up
may
with
start.
something more creative.
Well, but here's the whole thing. You can't be creative every day. Some days you wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I mean, hello.
Right.
Not all of us has great sleep. I mean, I have bad sleep every night. Be thankful for a damn good morning. No offense.
Oh, yeah. And I get that. But one of the things that I did, I got on the internet because I heard somebody do it on TikTok. And there were thousands of things that you could say to somebody other than just, good morning. I hope you have a good day. And it's one of the things that I actually use quite a bit. And I've done it. And the lady that I've gone out with, that went out with last Friday, she did it to me a couple of days ago after I said good morning. And her response was, I hope your day is full of smiles.
No,
That's all you got to say.
That's a good one.
You don't have to say good morning.
Right.
I hope that something happens to you today that allows you to make people smile.
Right. Well, now
There's a lot of that kind of thing instead of just going, good morning, hope you have a good day. Because I think there's a lot of people that are like, really? You're that boring?
Well, but here's the whole thing. I express all mine at night. You know me. I'm a big talker.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
get on the phone and that's it. And I dump everything into, the conversation. In the morning, I'm sorry, but I'm barely awake.
There's a lot of people like that.
And I tell people I'm not
Talk
a
to me.
morning person. I'll be honest with you. I know plenty of people who will tell you. I actually dated someone who said, don't expect to talk to me before coffee. I don't even want to. I won't even say hello until I've had a cup of coffee.
I've gone on a date with that woman. I hope it's the same one.
No, it's not. But the point is there are women that are like that. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. They're clarifying and they're setting their boundaries.
Yes.
Do not mess with me until I have my coffee. I will let you know.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. That's a boundary.
Exactly.
You have to choose whether you're going to uphold that boundary or walk away from it. But you can't half-ass a boundary like that.
Right.
You're going to go, oh, really? And then start tickling her and shit first thing in the morning. That just creates drama.
Well, see, you know what? If you want to improve or enhance your situation in that one, get your ass up, go make her a cup of coffee, and bring it to her to bed.
Right.
Then you set the standard, you set the boundary. Okay, I know you can't deal with me until you have coffee. Here's your coffee, honey. I got to leave for work. Give me a kiss, drink your coffee.
Hell no. Set the coffee on the nightstand, kiss her on the forehead, and walk out. No, I love you. No, just go.
Just go, yeah. But see, that's
I
the
think
funny
she
thing.
sleeps with a gun under her pillow.
Yeah,
No.
there you go. But see, the toxic environment is tearing that down.
Yes.
There's no boundaries. There's no accountabilities. There's no any of that. What the hell? They're praising women for taking men's rights away from their kids. They're praising women for, when the guy doesn't do his part of the chores or something. He works all day, she doesn't work, and she asks him to do something and he's just too tired to do it, and a week later he still hasn't, and she's pissed off at him for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get off your ass and go to work all day? Did you work 8 or 10 hours a day? You're complaining because he didn't do one thing that would take you 10 minutes to do, and yet he spends his ass at work all day long taking care of you and providing for the family. What's wrong with this picture?
Oh my God. That just reminded me of another one with a perfect example that was on TikTok.
Okay.
This lady literally got on TikTok and she's got millions of viewers already.
Okay.
And she says, "Can you believe this asshole that I'm married to?"
Okay.
She said, "Look at this. I'm here and I just got finished cooking dinner and I'm fixing to go start doing some laundry because we're a little bit behind. And I looked at my husband and I said, 'Will you please clean up the kitchen and load the dishwasher?'" Well, it was still daylight outside. I guess they ate early. So she's like, "Look at this son of a bitch. He's out there cleaning out his truck."
Yeah.
Come to find out, 5 days ago, she said, "Baby, this truck needs to be cleaned out." And he says, "Okay, I'll get to it." So now he's got a list of honeydews. And when she said, "Do the kitchen," that was last on the list. So he went back and started doing the first thing on the list. And when she realized that's what he was doing, she felt like shit. But she was still mad at him because it took him 5 days to clean the truck out.
But here's the whole thing. She probably told him, "Hey, can you help me out? Can you clean the kitchen?" And he probably was like, "Oh crap, I
I know.
forgot the truck." And
Yep.
so he's out there like, "I need to start."
I need to get the truck done, the garage done. I need to cut the grass, and then I'll clean the kitchen.
Exactly.
That's the way us literal or logical thinking is.
Yes, yes.
We
I
need to get
understand.
off our ass and do something we should have done 5 days ago. And she's going, "I didn't ask you to clean that truck now. I asked you to clean the kitchen now. Then
Right.
you go back to the truck later,
Right.
And
Right.
the truck keeps getting put off, put off, put off, put off.
Right.
So he's the bad guy, first off, for not doing it right then and there.
Right.
And she was mad at him at the beginning. And then she's like, "I now know what he's doing. I told him to clean the truck 5 days ago, blah, blah." And she said, "I'm still pissed off at him." And that was the end of the TikTok. But I thought, wow, that's the way us men think. "Hey, baby, you gonna clean the garage this weekend?" "Absolutely." Tuesday, garage never got clean.
Yeah.
"Honey, will you clean the kitchen?" And he goes out in the garage and starts cleaning the garage on a Tuesday night.
Right. Because she said, "Oh crap, I forgot to clean the garage this weekend. I
Yep.
probably need to get that knocked out before I get in and clean the kitchen." You
Isn't
know?
that crazy? Those two different thought processes.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
It's setting priorities. We
Yeah.
we will remember stuff that we forgot to do when she says, "Hey, can you do this?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, I meant to do that too."
I already got a mental list going. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so we want to knock those things out. And that's the hard part of, and sometimes when they ask us to clean, it's like, "Well, I've had a rough day. Can this wait till tomorrow?" Tomorrow comes, and something else happens. We've probably forgot about it. And then, like
Right.
you said, 2, 3 days later, she asked for help on something else. And it's like, "Oh crap, I meant to do this too." And it's like, "Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah.
When I was married for 15 years, I was absolutely terrible, terrible at doing that stuff
Right.
because I worked and she was a housewife,
Right.
you know, and I wasn't, maybe every once in a while I might have been, "Hey, what have you been doing all day? Been hanging out at Walmart, hanging out with your friends?" "No, I just got finished working my ass off." Now, when she got a job,
It
that
was
was a
different.
whole different ball game. Yeah.
Right. Right.
I ended up cooking and cleaning every night because especially when she was going to college and all that stuff. But I, in my younger days, I would do what that TikTok did. Now, the minute somebody says, "Hey, will you clean the kitchen?" I don't care how tired I am. I'm cleaning the damn kitchen because number one, I like the kitchen clean, and washing dishes and loading the dishwasher and stuff like that isn't my worst. It's not the worst thing for me.
Right. Yeah, we talked
Um,
about that. Yeah.
yeah, we did a whole podcast on
Yeah.
one thing that we don't like to do in the
Yeah.
house.
Laundry or dishes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The kitchen is I don't have a problem doing that. I
Right.
really don't.
Right.
So in my older age, if whoever I was dating at the time or living with ever, and they said, "Hey, babe, we get up and clean the kitchen," man, I'd be up. My ass would be off that couch in 2 seconds and get it done quick because there is a reward system.
I know.
And when you get older, you realize there is a reward system, and you get a gold star for jumping up and doing it.
Whatever.
I'm
I'm
just
I'm
saying.
I'm gonna go back to the comedian's joke. We were talking about it before the podcast. That shouldn't be a reward system.
No, it shouldn't.
There's
But it,
no. Let's it
I'm not
period.
saying take advantage of it, but if that turns your woman on
No,
for you to do acts of service,
I know, and I understand that. That's a love language. That's different.
that's what I'm saying. I guess the lady that was telling me to go clean the kitchen at the time, that was her love
That was
language.
her brownie points. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
It was
So
all for her benefit. I didn't enjoy it at all. I did what I was supposed to do. I
whatever.
was the gentleman about it.
So but it's funny. You were talking about that. It made me remember. You know, women aren't the only ones that are toxic. Okay, I'm very anti.
Yeah.
I'm very upset with this kind of feminist movement of tearing down men. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some men out there that don't deserve it, because there are some really horrible men out there. Don't get me wrong, folks. Okay, there's what is it, the Harvey Weinsteins and all those people who love to deal with the underage, whatever, all these sick people in the world. Okay, there's plenty of sick men out there, and there are plenty of horrible men out there. Don't get me wrong. I fight against that every day, okay? Because I want my kids to be good men. So, but I actually, when I was married, thinking back, and you made the comment, I had the same thing. My wife was a stay-at-home wife.
Right.
And I made enough money to support the family. She chose to stay at home because we had 4 kids, and daycare was obscenely expensive, and she'd said something. She actually did get a job for a little while. She worked at the school where the kids went to school. So that was really convenient because she could go in when they went in, and then she could leave when they left. And
Awesome for her because she got a little social time.
yes.
Get out of the house. See, that's good stuff.
Right. But we couldn't afford daycare. I mean, and that was my big thing is look, if you want to get a job, that's fine, but it's got to at least compensate for the daycare, because that's daycare for 3 or 4 children was just going to be,
Yep.
no offense, it was going to be
I don't know how
insane.
they did it because when I was married and we had 2 kids in daycare, it was her entire paycheck.
Yeah.
So it was costing us money for her to work because she had to have clothes. She worked at a school, so when she wore skirts, she had to wear hose. And hose, they rip and tear every other day.
I know.
So those things get expensive, that kind of thing. We were actually when she quit her job and became a house mom, we actually had more money in our pocket
Right. Right.
because, yeah.
And I had no problem with her being like part of the PTO and things like that, and doing events like that so she could get out, and or when the kids were at school, she would go take classes on crocheting or whatever.
Cool.
But I do remember having an argument one time because a comment was made that I don't do enough around the house, and at this time I was working 50, 60 hours a week at work. No
Right.
offense, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want to come home and I just want to relax, okay? And the comment was made that I'm not doing enough around the house. And I will be honest, folks. I literally looked over and I'm like, what do you do all day? Eat bonbons?
Oh, not the best thing to say.
I know it's
But
not, but I mean, looking
frustration,
back, it's
yeah.
not, but it's frustration, you know?
sheer frustration of looking at her like,
It's like,
do I ever say, hey, I need you to go to work for me tomorrow? I just ain't feeling it.
right,
You know,
right. Yeah.
his or her. I'm not pointing fingers
No,
at
no, 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 no. It's
the spouse, not the male or female.
right, because here's the
Eh,
whole thing. Let's just be honest. If we were both working, okay, so say for example, if I got with a woman now and she made the same salary, even if it's a little less or whatever, okay,
Whatever. Yeah,
yeah,
money doesn't matter.
money
She's
didn't.
making money. She's
She,
got a job.
yeah, exactly. Okay, and she looked at me and she's like, "Look, I really need help around the house," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm helping as much as I can. Maybe it's time we look for a maid." Because I'll be honest with you, let's just and
I
I know
would
that
want to.
sounds horrible.
Well, no, it's one way of looking at it, and it's not a bad way. But when you're saying that, my first thought process is like, you know what, babe? Let's sit down. We need to sit down and let's get a pad out and let's say these are the things that need to get done.
Right.
And maybe once a week we revisit this or however, so that we're both communicating and we're both doing about the same amount of work around the house.
Right.
So one week, I really hate laundry, but I'll do laundry, that kind of thing.
Right.
Because if you both hate laundry, holy shit, then you got a problem, right?
Right.
Okay, I can't do laundry for a week, so let's do it every other day, whatever whatever.
Right.
Come to a mutual agreement,
Right.
and both of you have to agree to it. That was the hardest thing in my marriage is we would sit down and write it all out, and it never worked for her. Never.
No.
We never solved a problem.
Yeah, you
fought,
never agreed. Yeah.
We fought, and it ended.
Right.
We never sat down. She's like, "You never have a solution." I'm like, "I got plenty. Sit down." Oh, that's a bunch of bullshit, and she'd run from that because I had solutions. They just weren't her idea or her favorite or whatever. What
Or
she
they
did
weren't
then,
in her favor. One or the
yeah,
other. I mean, let's just be honest. It's the
that's
toxic
what I'm saying.
femininity. Yeah.
But I think the point of that is I have a solution. Here's my solution. She needs to come back with, well, going in the right direction, but maybe we need to change a few things, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll go, okay, well, that's acceptable. That's called communication.
Let's compromise.
Just because my idea is not the best idea and it's not perfect,
Right.
sit down and let's make it perfect. Call it a day.
Right. And
That's so much easier.
Here's the whole thing. No idea is perfect. But
Right.
Here's the big difference. If two people come together and talk it out and can agree, then it makes it a perfect idea because it's perfect for them.
Yes,
It doesn't
and
have to be perfect for anyone else. It's perfect for them.
Even if it turns into an argument, finish it out with some kind of solution.
Yes. Right.
Now, I could come up, hey, Nick, you never have any solutions in this deal. Okay, here's the solution. You're working and I'm working. You're going to do all the chores around the house. You're going to cook. You're going to clean. You're going to do the laundry. You're going to load all the dishwasher. That's my solution. And she's going to go, oh, hell no. And I'm like, all right, what's yours? And she's going to go, well, you cook and you clean and you do the laundry. You do. I'm like, all right, we're halfway there. Now let's sit down and figure out which one I'm going to do this week and which one, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it starts off as an argument and all pissy, go ahead.
Right.
Just don't get to the point where you're slinging mud and calling them names and putting them down and yeah, you're ugly and doing all that stupid stuff.
Right.
If you can do that, that's what it's all about. And I've been on dates and talked about these things with these women and they're like, man, if I could just find a man like that. And I'm going,
I'm right here, freaking in front of you. What the hell's wrong with you?
I'm going to fail. I'm going to make mistakes. And you can come at me and say, why'd you do that? That hurt my feelings. That was wrong. And I'm going to go, wow, I didn't know that. That wasn't my intent, or you were being an ass or whatever. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Get it off our chest. One day after those things that happen, you're going to wake up one morning, you're going to go, I know this person and I know what I can do and what I can't do. And now it's second nature.
Right.
That is when it all falls into place.
Right. But the problem I have with that is the toxic nature of our current culture. It makes it almost impossible to get to that point.
Nobody wants to work that hard.
No.
They don't.
No.
Nobody. I mean, there's going to be a time when you're wrong. You are just flat ass wrong.
Yes.
You have to be able to stand up, put your chest out, and go,
That was
you know
me.
what? That was me. It was all me. And here's where it even falls off the rails for that. I'll stand up and go, you know what? You're absolutely right. I shouldn't have said or shouldn't have done or did whatever. And then they go, why the hell did you keep doing, and then they keep badging you with it.
Oh, no.
That right there, that's just going, okay, I got it. I'm fixing to sit down and we're going to work it out. And I'm going to apologize to you because you're right. I was wrong. But if you keep coming at me like that, now you're going to start pissing me off.
Well, see, that's the
All I'm going to do is I'm going to come back at you. And then you're going to, and then it's going
right.
to turn into a big old fight. We're not going to solve anything. 15 years of doing that. That's the way it happened.
Well, see, that in my opinion is the tear down nature.
Yeah.
People trying to tear somebody, it's like, okay, I made a mistake. I admit it. Okay, let's move on. I will try to learn from it, and you're going to forgive me for it.
Yep.
I'm not asking you to forget. That's up to you if you want to, but you're going to forgive me for it, and we're going to move on. If you can't do that, you might as well end the relationship right there.
Yep. Walk away.
100%. That's it. It's done. Because if you're not willing to work and forgive, then you got no business. No offense.
And if you think you don't ever fucking make a mistake, I had a best friend that I hung out with for years. And then he got jealous of the piece of property that I bought because it was better than his. And he thought we started doing this pissing contest. And I'm like, no. I don't want to do that. But his guy had to be the center of attention. And I bet you anything, if he got tested, he would be tested for narcissism and he would be it. Because he started cutting down everything.
I know.
Started putting everything down. My RV was a piece of shit. Your motorcycle was a piece of shit. This is a piece of shit, And I got to the point where I was like, I'm done.
And the funny
everybody knew that he was doing that, but they all came to me and they said, hey, why can't you just apologize to him?
Yeah, I know.
What? You want me? Well, he's never going to apologize to you. I said, and that motherfucker's going to be alone for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And to this day, neither one of we don't speak.
Well, okay, so here goes. You just made a great example of the toxic atmosphere.
Yes.
People, instead of holding him accountable for his behavior, it's like, we know you're the nice guy. Why don't you give in?
Yeah.
No.
Fuck that.
Exactly. No. I shouldn't have to do that. You know what? If you're my friend, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it messes with my integrity.
Right. But see,
I can't do that.
Right.
I wouldn't expect you to do it either.
Right.
If somebody was bullying you, stand up to him.
Right. But I mean, and that's the whole thing is you just made a good point. It's not just toxic, but I saw a TikTok and I'm glad you mentioned it because I forgot about it. But, I think it was the manicured mom who was saying all these feminists, these extreme feminists, they're bullying other women so they can get their toxic ideals out there. It's insane. I mean, we preach not to bully people. We teach our kids not to bully other kids. But yet you've got these women who are like, oh, yeah. You should treat a guy like this. You should bully him into getting whatever you want, manipulate him and do whatever,
troll him,
gaslight him, whatever you can do, to get him to pay for your nails and your hair and your whatever. And it's like, honey, no offense. You look great without it. I mean,
right.
Here's the whole thing. I will tell you that this is funny. I got this one thing to share. I actually had someone ask me one time, because Nick will tell you, and we've said it previously on the podcast, I'm an extremely honest person. Okay? So just to tell you how honest, Jay asked me some advice today on his job. And I told him, I said, be honest. I said, just be honest. At the end of the day, you'll have a clear conscience. You never know. Insanely, he was having an anxiety attack, trying to deal with a situation at work. He was honest. Talked to his boss. It actually worked in his favor. He came out of the room smiling. He had this great attitude. Okay, just was really, really, really good. So I wanted to share that.
That's
Um,
awesome because that means the right thing works. Doesn't always work, but it worked.
yes,
And it just gave that man more confidence in himself, gave him a better thought process on his integrity level,
yes.
did an enormous amount of, I thought about it, I talked it over with my dad. This is what I decided to do, and it worked.
Yes.
That's fantastic. You can't get better than that.
Well, and it's honesty. I preach honesty all the time, and he was honest, and the honesty got him what he wanted. That is a huge lesson, in
Yes.
my opinion. Okay, a huge lesson. Anyway, so here's the toxic mentality. And I know some women are gonna respond to this because they're gonna be like, "How dare you, Jay? Why would you say that?" Okay, if just an example, if you had a girlfriend or a wife and she bought a dress and you didn't like it and she asked you, "How do I look?" What would you say?
I would be honest.
Okay,
I would do it. Okay, so let's say the dress absolutely looked like shit on her.
right,
Okay, let's let's be that bold. That is not what I'm gonna say.
right.
I'm not gonna come at her like, "Oh my God, you look like shit." You know, I'm gonna come at her in a way that, babe, that just doesn't fit you right.
So, yeah, and so that's the point. Okay, so
It's soft and polite instead of just flat out going, "Oh, you look like shit,"
right,
or
uh,
"You're fat." That. Oh no,
yeah,
I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. "Hey, you like this shirt on me?" "Yeah, but it's a little tighter. It's a little baggy." That kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Fight about it.
right.
Don't say you look like shit, but let them know that it's just not you or something.
Well, and so I'm always honest. Everybody knows that. That's just who I am. Okay, like it or not, and I've lost friends because I've been honest. But it's just that's who I am. You can either take it or leave it. At this point in my stage in my life, I'm sorry, but I can't be any other way. Okay.
Right.
So if a woman asks me, "How do I look in this dress?" Okay, I am going to be honest. And as I express it to most of my friends, I'm going to be as tactful as I can. A
Yes.
good example of that, and I thought about this, how would you respond? And I think this is probably close to the best response you can get. I'm sure somebody will come up with a better one. But something along the lines of, honey, you are the most beautiful woman to me. But to be honest, that dress does not do it for me.
That's tactful. You didn't call her names. You focused the thought process on the dress, not the woman in it.
Right. Because the woman in it, you love. You think
Yes.
she's beautiful. Otherwise, you would not be with her.
That's right. Dressed or undressed. Yummy.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, let's just be honest. So,
Right.
and that's what I don't understand. This whole toxic kind of attitude of, well, you need to say something, you need to lie to her. No, 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 no. We need to stop lying to each other. We need to
Right.
start being honest. Honey, I love you and all, but that dress just doesn't, no. I don't know what it is, but that dress doesn't, it's, and so maybe it's a color, whatever, it clashes with their
Something's just
skin
not clicking
tone.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a million different things you could think of, when they change their hairstyle, something about the hairstyle. They may love it, but just realize you're two different people with two different tastes.
Right.
Just because she loves it doesn't mean you do.
But that's the same thing. If she likes us with a beard and we shave it off without talking to her about it, same principle.
Right. She'll be like, I don't like you without a beard. Well, I just wanted to shave it off. It was bothering me. You know?
Okay, well, put back,
Yeah, grow back, please. She'll be.
but I know
Go ahead.
I hung out with people that were males on males, friends,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. Right.
They were bullies. We're all getting dressed up to go country and western dancing.
Right.
And we're all going to show up at somebody's house and have a few beers before we get there because the beers are 3 times more expensive, blah, blah, right?
Right.
So that's what we did. So we'd all show up at the house, and there was always that one guy that went, are you seriously going to wear that shit out to the bar? And there was nothing wrong with who he could have been pointing that shit at me or anything.
Right.
Didn't matter who he was pointing it to. What he did do was let everybody in the room know that he's a bully
Yes.
and that he's a piece of shit, and he wants to make sure that he puts everybody else down while he stands tall and looks good.
Right. Right.
That kind of shit I do not tolerate.
Well, it's he's expressing his insecurity and projecting it onto you. That is
Yes.
100% just
Oh, I
another
hate
example of
that
toxic
shit.
bully. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So,
And he treats his soon to be wife, he flat out said, "Bitch, you're stupid," in front of everybody.
ooh. Oh,
I about came out of my chair. And this guy's a big boy. He's
yeah.
6 or big old. I couldn't have taken him even if I wanted to, unless I just shot his ass, and I wanted to. I was at his place.
Right.
We were just sitting there drinking some beers, and we were going to go out after. He said that to her in front of everybody, and the whole thing went silent. And then he immediately came out with some snarky comment about something else to change the subject.
Instead of
As if
apologizing.
Instead of apologizing, I got up, went and got in my truck, and went home. There was no way I was going to be out in the bar with this guy if he was going to be acting like that, and then we all get drunk.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That means that he's going to intensify that attitude, and the minute he comes at me, I'm going to kick his ass in the kneecaps and run.
Right. Well, but here's the other flip side. Who's to say that somebody accidentally bumps into him in the bar? He's
And it
not
goes
gonna, yeah, it goes off. Somebody pulls a gun, and then the gun goes off. I mean,
It
this
could
is,
happen.
yes, this is why I don't go hang out with people who drink a lot. I mean, no offense, but
No, another wrong, and I agree with that. But here's the deal: if he would have just not said that one phrase, are you
right,
really going to looking like that? If he'd have just let that go, none of that. I mean, it could have escalated to something that bad.
yes,
That one phrase,
right,
and that's the world.
right.
I got to be better than you. I have to be better than you.
Well,
I got to one up.
here's the whole thing. If he talks to his friends that way, how does he talk to strangers?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I don't know, but when he said that, I was like, I just don't like him anymore.
Yeah,
You know, and I did a couple rides with them, and he hung out in Bandera and stuff like that, and that group just got more toxic by the day, and it was just something that I just did not want to live my life around anymore.
right.
And then the guy that I was closest to started coming at me hard because my place was better than his. He actually said, "Dude, you fucking pissed me off because your place is turnkey, and I had to spend hours and hours digging ditches and blah blah." I'm like, "Dude, you're the one that called me and said you need to buy this place."
Yeah,
You know, and he was jealous because my place was turnkeys and his wasn't.
but
All of that, because of that one thing.
but he could have bought the property himself, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Yes, and he could afford it. He could have bought it himself.
Yeah. See, that really drives me nuts. That one is
See,
kind of like over the
that's why
top.
I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. I'm done.
Yeah.
And Nick, it would really, I really miss you guys together and us all hanging out and stuff like that. He's never going to apologize, but you guys need to talk. I'm like, all he has to do is pick up the phone and, well, he's not going to do that. Why don't you go over there? No. If I did something to him, that's one thing. If I was an idiot, and I've been an idiot before, I've done some stupid ass things in my life, I would stand up and go, you know what? I'm half the problem.
Yeah.
But if he's not going to say he's the other half, we're done.
Yeah, and see, that's the key point. I think that's the accountability, the toxic mentality, it's not my fault. It's your fault for pointing out that it was my fault.
Yeah.
What the freaking kind of hell
Anything
logic
else,
is
take
that?
Responsibility and blame.
Yes.
Anything.
I know.
We're
Dude.
going on. I know we're going on an hour and a half, man. I told you, I love this kind of stuff. I could talk about it all day long.
Yes, but just this whole toxic kind of culture that it just really it hit a nerve this past week, and I'm like, I'm done being nice on the podcast. You know what? We're gonna start just being controversial. We're gonna start
Go.
being just talking. We may not get into politics still, but this culture has nothing to do with politics. This culture has everything to do with people, no offense, being shitty people.
No, I think you need to get rid of the disclaimer of saying no offense, because if it fucking offends you, there's only one way you can solve that problem. Get involved and let us know. You don't like our ideas? We're not professionals. We don't do this for a living. This is just Jay and I living our lives, having struggles, and we're talking about it.
Exactly.
If you want to get involved and get your opinion in here, send us an email. Tell us how you feel. We're not scared of you, positive or negative. You never know. You could come at us with, you two don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're fucking idiots and the whole bit. Tell us why. Let's talk about it. Tell me your side of the story. You don't want to get on the podcast? That's fine. Type it in. We'll put it on the podcast for you. But that's what it's all about. I want your opinion.
We want a conversation.
Yeah. Want your opinion. We want your conversation. We want you to get, maybe we don't have all the answers.
No.
And we never will.
No.
But if we get enough people talking about it, maybe we can at least get to the point where the people in our circles understand how we all feel, so that we can get out of that toxic lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, and I think you're right. Have a conversation. That is the key. Reach out, of course, subscribe, you know where to find us. And if you don't, you know what? There's a million different links we post. So, I don't know what to do for you.
That's right. If you listen to this, you might as well just keep following.
Yeah, there you go. So,
get all your friends to do it too, because this is some good stuff.
And it's funny because I had some people this week reach out and listen to some old episodes, and they literally like, you guys are hilarious. You're authentic. It's not just some random made up story. It's your life. And I said, exactly. I said, that is the key point. We're going to keep on doing it because you know what? We're going to keep on living our lives and keep having new stories.
Absolutely.
So, I don't have anything else. We could go for probably another hour and a half, but we need to wrap this one up.
Yeah, we do.
We do. So, thank you, folks. Like Nick said, send us an email, conversation, subscribe. And, of course, as always,
love you, brother.
Love you too. Keep following, keep listening.